What's going on, everyone? Happy Monday, and welcome back to another edition of our Monday night online open mic presented by the Barbed Open Mic series. We are live and alive in the 915 EP, El Paso, Texas. My name is Rich, and I'll be your MC and host tonight. Welcome, welcome to this online space. Um, this is our online mic that we've been doing every single Monday, every single one since April of 2020. Have not missed any of them. So you can go back and catch all of those shows in our archive, minus our super secret pilot that never aired. That was just the test run. Otherwise, yeah, you have 200 plus episodes at this point. Like any open mic, if you want to perform, all you have to do is sign up. And so if you're just tuning in, the link to sign up is in the description of this video. So if you're watching on your laptop or if you're on a phone or a tablet, it will be just be in the description. If you are tuning in, let us know you're here. Say hello in the live chat. In fact, we encourage you to hang out in the live chat all night. So if you hear stuff that you like, leave comments, leave emojis, leave your thoughts. Lastly, if you are an EPCC student and you're here for the Tejano passport code, then I will be the one supplying that to you. But all I ask is that you watch the show for as long as you can, as many performers as you can. And the instructions on how to do that are also in the description. There's a lot of stuff in the description, including links to our social media, and follow us wherever you can. And now we do this online every Monday, and it's really great because we get to connect with people from all over the country and all over the world. Thus, it's also the case tonight that we will be able to do that. But of course, if you do live in the El Paso area, you have the luxury of getting to catch us in person. We have up to two or three venues every week. So here's a little bit of rundown of what we have going on this week and probably closing out the month of September as well. So this week, check it out. Tuesday, we're going to be downtown as always, but we have a unique thing happening tomorrow. We're going to do the debut of BWOMS at Brunette. What does that mean? Well, Brunette is the third venue owned by the same owners of Mona Bar and Rosewood. So traditionally, we alternate between each venue. Tomorrow, we're going to be at their third venue, and it's located in between each of them. Now, how does that work? If you've ever been there, you see that they are next door. Well, Brunette is an underground venue. So just like the jazz clubs of the 50s, underground jazz clubs, we're going to be going underground for this one. That's right. We're going to be going underground like Dostoevsky, and we're going to be spitting some poetry, some music. It's open to any kind of expression. As always, sign up starts at 8 p.m. Show starts at 9 p.m. I am also training slash trying out potential BWOMS hosts. So I decided that I was going to give them an opportunity to rotate in and out throughout the night. Also, breaking news: it is the return of $2 tacos. That used to be a classic at Mona Bar. For a while we had like these hot dogs and tots, and they were fun, but I think we're going back to the classic $2 hot dogs. So if you are hungry, you're more than welcome to eat. Yes, I knew Kit would get the reference. Notes from the underground. But what else? So that's Tuesday. All right. We're going to be downtown, and that's on San Antonio Street, right by the legendary Tap Bar and Restaurant. Come through and hang out with us. Wednesday, we have Storycraft at Crown of Crows. Storycraft is a really fun night dedicated to the storytellers in our groups, in our community. And the difference with that one is you get up to 15 minutes to read a piece, plus followed by 15 minutes of feedback. And that's going to be the first sign up starts at 6:30 and the first name will be drawn at 7. But show up when you can, as soon as you can, and you can put your name in the goblet and win a chance for some stage time because we draw names for that one. Not everyone gets to read. Thursday, we are going to return triumphantly to Rally Point Coffee on the east side. I know Ed's excited about that. Yeah, we unfortunately we had to miss last month, little scheduling issue, but we will return, and I'll be hosted by my good friend Jez of the Pie Sisters of Pie Music. And I think sign up for that starts at 7 p.m. as well. And those are always fun. I think I will be able to make that one. Next week, we have Old Sheepdog Brewery, last Thursday of the month, hosted by Kit Wren. And as always, just if you want to be kept up to date, find our website, BWOMS.com. Again, if you guys are watching, if you're tuning in, say hello. Let us know you're here. Otherwise, we don't know. It's nice. It's nice to know people are watching, is what I'm saying. Otherwise, we have a pretty great list. I'll introduce everyone, and of course, everyone, all performers. I'm encourage you guys to share your social media, your websites, your YouTube channels, any way in which people can follow and support your work online. And again, um, pretty soon we got holiday season coming up, so I always encourage people to buy gifts from the poets and writers, buy the book, buy the chapbook. A lot of people here have something that you can purchase and share with the world. Okay, so with that said, let's go ahead and kick things off, and we are going to kick things off in El Paso. And I think for the second week in a row, he's kicking it off. We have Ed Gonzalez. Wait, I might be wrong on that, but we have Ed Gonzalez still, and he has always one of the coolest T-shirts in the background. I want you guys to spot it, but always great work, Ed. When you're ready, welcome to the show, and take it away when you're ready.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Richie. Just want to give thanks to for BWOMS for allowing me in this platform. It's been great for me. It's great for my writing. Just want to say happy Monday to the regulars and YouTubers. I'm gonna get right to it. And I'm honored to go first. I'm just honored to be here all together. I have two of mine. Actually, one was actually um, in the tumble words um, given by the great Michael Sindler, and one I wrote for my nephew. He just recently passed, so yeah, it is what it is. Okay, I'm gonna get right to it. This one was my tumble words. It was entitled Breakfast. Uh, Now, generally, I am partaking in intermediate fasting, followed by my morning medication with liquid IV lemon. When I really wake up at 5 a, I really wake up at 5 a.m. to sit in contemplation. After that, I usually pass out. On the weekends, I get up and cook for my grandkids, usually eggs, potatoes, and bacon. No sausage, as my youngest grandson would say. In my youth, during the week is regular cornflakes and bananas, no variations or substitutions. My mom would always say, "This is not a democracy," in her El Paso accent. Um, or if I'm in a rush or I'm still hungry, a flour tortilla with real butter rolled. And on weekends, my dad would make French toast, or we'd walk across the street to gather nopal and mix with omelets. That was good stuff. And that was that was the tumble words. And this is the one I wrote for my nephew. Right now I'm working on his eulogy. It's probably going to be next month sometime, but in the meantime, I wrote this piece on the day after. And I'm going to start it out with the two most important days in your life is the day you were born and the day you find out why by Mark Twain. And this was entitled Family Ties. Growing up, my eldest brother always seemed to be busy, work or school, and my sibling number four had larceny in his heart, and I never wanted anything to do with that. My two nephews were not too much younger than I was, so I hung out with them. We had lots of fun. We even went to parties and together. The eldest one was a DJ, and I had a van, so the younger one came along for the ride. And as the flock of people we hung out with, we us all separated. For much we tried to hang out, but the world strung us out. I only heard the occasional word through the family grapevine how they were doing. Well, as the families, if there was any regrets, and I would try a little harder to keep in touch with families, blood or otherwise. I'm sitting here now writing a eulogy for the younger. Well, I have nothing but gratitude as for living as long as I have. Generally, it seems uh, the only time the family congregates is at funerals. We really need to change that, blood or otherwise. And in conclusion, travel well, nephew. And when you get there, please take care of my dog. I have no faith in my brother. Okay, moving on. My cover. My first one is written by a friend of mine from San Antonio, the great Bridget Cooley Beck. Have you placed marigolds on the altar of us? Nestled between the best harmonica and my favorite books, do you wipe the dust off and clean cobwebs every time you walk by? Are the items on your side table forgotten, the same way I lost track of your birthday? You ignored my questions. Do you attempt to keep what was alive for at least a day of the year? I beg the autumn chill to breathe new life into this corpse relationship. The whisper of a word that used to mean something, now only ghosts. And that was Bridget Cooley Beck. And my final one is one I'm pretty sure everyone will know, but I just finally reread it in my list of printouts. The Journey by the great Mary Oliver. One day you finally knew what you had to do and began through the voices around you, kept shouting their bad advice. Through the whole house began to tremble, and you felt the old tug at your ankles. Mend my life. Each voice cried, but you didn't stop. You knew what you had to do. Through the wind, pried with the stiff fingers and very foundations. Through their melancholy was terrible. It was already late, through and a wild night, and the road full of fallen branches and stones. But little by little, as you left their voices behind, the stars began to burn through the sheets of the clouds, and there was a new voice which you slowly recognized as your own, that you kept that kept you company as you strode deeper and deeper into the world, determined to do the only thing you could do, determined to save the only life you could save. Mary Oliver. Wanted to say thank you. I always have much gratitude. Thank you, Richie. Thank you, Kit. I'm happy and ready for Rally Point on Thursday. And you can always find me on my Substack, Ed Gonzalez Jedi, on pretty much all the platforms. Thank you very much.
Awesome. As always, appreciate the pieces, the cover poems, as well as your own. My condolences. I know we were talking about that last week, so go follow Ed Substack. I'll repost the link tree so people can follow you as well. Again, if you guys are just getting here, this is our online open mic. Welcome. If you're here for EPCC, you can find instructions in the description. And if you want to sign up, the link to sign up is in the description. But we have a pretty decent list so far, so we're gonna go ahead and keep moving it along. We're gonna stick around in El Paso for our next performer. And as always, let's see. Always wearing a cool fit, master poet, master gardener, author of several collections with more on the way. It's Robin Schofield. Hey, Robin. Happy Monday.
Hey, Richie. Hey, everybody. Happy Monday. Welcome to community college students in your new semester if you're here. Let's see. I'm going to take about an hour because I'm going to read all my rejections from this summer. Not really. I'm just going to read one batch of them. And then I'm going to read the one accepted poem from the summer. This one is called Unexpected Pedestrian. Time can be added or subtracted, diurnal fugue, geometry somehow. El Rio Bravo will eat itself one day over in the concrete jungle of Juarez, where you watch for the unexpected. Honduran man, 25, killed crossing the border highway in the darkness before dawn. A new sign in lights says, "Watch for unexpected pedestrians." Time can be added or subtracted. How many walls did he multiply over in the concrete jungle of Juarez? The last one, adding the border wall. Will this Rio eat itself one day in a diurnal fugue, geometry somehow? He calculated over the razor wire under a sliver moon, the last one. Unexpected pedestrian, he stepped in front of a Ford F-150 pickup truck. Time can be added and subtracted, and then exponential somehow, diurnal fugue or geometry, the last equation he figures when addition stops and the sum gets subtracted. Yeah, so this one is another one that was rejected called Broken Fate. The traveler on his way breaks a wheel and is greatly annoyed by it. That's an epigraph from Goethe. Epigram? I always get those mixed up. There was a boat, but I didn't take it. I wrote you a letter and told you so. Still, I would love to have seen you on the Danube, the wind in your dark curly hair. I took a train to Paris instead and got robbed. I was going to meet you in Berlin, I swear. Yet I had to stand on Yeats's grave on my birthday. I hear that your hair is all gone, though I don't hear much about you. So we didn't meet up on that river or any other. I heard that your mother died young. I never met her. I might have if I had changed my plans. I remember the day we climbed Enchanted Rock and saw a deer on the Pedernales River. I couldn't bring myself to take your handsome hand into mine. It was too much. I was headstrong. No, I said, and again no, until there was nothing in my mouth but a mute emerald, dark and rough. You were no miner. Another had to show me the cave of my being. I know lots of names for water now. I am full of the sounds of rivers and borders, though I am a long way from the sea, in the high desert, fragrant with sweet acacia. I speak from the red stones of the mountains, where a dry river doesn't even answer. All right, so carrying on with that, this is called Crossroads, Paso del Norte. A true story. Well, that's not in the poem. The border highway snakes around like the Rio Grande used to before it was straightened by concrete and by treaty. La Equi, the big red X, stands in Juarez para mezcla o mixta para los mexicanos. Large flags droop on the Bridge of the Americas, the statue of Lincoln tall on the Mexican side. Oodles of traffic and carbon monoxide, a jungler, the vendor with big pralines, a kid with foam maps of Mexico. Someone slaps a tambourine, another wails and plucks a wooden guitar. I've been traveling and want that praline. Ándale pues, the vendor says. All day I've thought of this bridge that is so hard to cross, following in the footsteps of the many who had it harder. I'm just a passenger suddenly at the whim of U.S. Customs. Where did you go and why? I say, a poetry conference. He thinks I said poultry. When I convince him that I'm a poet, not a chicken farmer, he asks me how much Xanax I'm smuggling into the country. He makes me dump out my backpack and I giggle out of nerves while showing him my psychiatric meds, my poems, and my books. He tells me I should take this international crossing more seriously. He doesn't recognize the meds. I think of la gente desperada at the border, what little they carry, and even that is taken away when they cross the walls and razor wire at the approved checkpoints. The Border Patrol shot at an art exhibit near El Rio Bravo on the Mexican side, correctly perceiving art as a threat to their violence. Oh, yeah, now this one is the one that was accepted. Passage to the north. I didn't see the hawks today, hunting finches in the cottonwoods while floating flapless over the ridge. They have likely departed north. Nature presses prey and predator, extra sap oozing in the springtime. The songbirds start up again, performances of pure form. Desert marigolds about to bloom. Give them 2 weeks to migrate yellow across the desert scape. Which way, America? Liberty is always farther north. Follow the star out of one danger zone into another, La Fronteriza, to hear the questions. Who are you? What do you want? Where are you going? Where are you from? Step up to the threshold, singing birds who think the hawk is gone. Heading north like birds, you arrive at the checkpoint with only what you still carry on your back and hold in your hands. Then the Border Patrol takes that away. You follow in the footsteps of the revolution. You flee from your life, which made you leave your home, not even as safe as a nest on the ground. Well, so that's taken by the Mocking Heart Review, my only acceptance of the summer so far. All right, so now I'm going to read my little short cover poem. It's a very weird poem by Charles Simic. It's called In My Long Night. I have toiled like a spider at his web in the dome of a church where only the upraised eyes of martyrs in their torments could see me. Where one cold spring day, with rumors of war in the air, my young parents brought me to be baptized by the priest. Where years after my grandmother was to lie in an open coffin, looking pleased to be done with having to bury other people. Where I once saw a crow walk in, lured by the gold on the altar and the light the candles cast, where I dangled up there by a thread. Yeah, that's by Charles Simic, and it's from a book called Master of Disguises. All right, I have a new shipment of books in. The book is called Ridge of High Pressure. You can hit me up for it by email, and my handle on and my thing on Instagram is robinsco321, which is also my Gmail. So, and I'm also on Facebook, of course, trying to tell the real from the false, as everybody else is. And so hit me up for one of the books. Back to you, Richie.
All right. Thank you, Robin. Highly recommended. Definitely check out Ridge of High Pressure, as well as any of the other collections I think I've read from before in the past. But yeah, if you live in El Paso, I think I mentioned it a couple weeks back, but you can go to some of our local bookstores and find Robin's book on the shelves. I know because I've literally been there and seen them. Unless, give them a reason to order some new ones too. Okay, so we're gonna keep this thing going along. Let's see. Ah, that's right. We're gonna go a little bit north of here, and we're gonna check in on our friend in Denver. Because how can we have an open mic without a Michael? That's what we call a mic check. So without further ado, Mike Sindler up next. Good to see you, man. Take it away when you're ready.
Good to see you. Oh, I just dropped something. Oh, sorry about that. First thing I just have to say, if I was a publisher, I would have grabbed every single one of those poems of Robbins in a split second. Uh, and I thought yours was great too. I'm just going to get out of the way. LighthouseWriters.org. Seen a bunch of really interesting new classes that are getting ready to start up. Um, Somebody was talking about tumble words earlier. I don't know if it was before we came on, but I was very honored to facilitate at tumble words the other day, and the founder of tumble words, Donna Snyder, it was her birthday the other day, and I just don't want it to go past without being remembered. So this poem is for Donna. There is what ends and what does not end. No dividing line between the two makes mirrored twins of time and timeless. What is, what was, and what will be. All states flow and blend in harmony. Love layers deep, successive cushions over seed pod of pain. All lingers, all grows, all fades into eternity. Form and substance rearrange, flit from matter to mass to being to ineffable. Air thickens into water, water rolls over hardened, sentient heart. Art ties souls together and never dies. And she was a very special woman, and I wanted to get that across. And you've heard me whine about how I haven't been writing, so I finally, like this week, started writing stuff again. So I'm very happy. This first one's called Raw Villanelle. Raw villanelles built for villains burning, hold pen, hold violas, hold the roses. What dwells within silent cells still turning? Cracked marble odes roll odd spark enduring, sad sweepstake sonnet trips on triolets, raw villanelles built for villains burning, blossom strewn water, chant cascades churning, strung bow, slide peals, tone petal encloses what dwells within silent cells still turning. Scroll unwinds a litany of yearning, discloses unredacted dossiers, raw villanelles built for villains burning. Turn elegy into incantation, reserve verse connection decomposes. What dwells within silent cells still turning? Iridescent facet juxtaposes thunder loose lament, scattered castaways, raw villanelles built for villains burning. What dwells within silent cells still turning? And do one more that this I wrote yesterday, maybe. It's called Icarus. There is a tumbling moment between the fear and fall when Icarus realizes he won't miss flying at all. The water chants to greet him, raises up its wavy arms. It sings of new beginnings. It will show him all its charms. Daedalus tried to raise you. He released you to the sky, lost feathers and calculations, didn't know how far you'd fly. hurtling toward the teremes full of fish and superstitions. The waxing angle of descent still eludes the mathematicians. And in that tumbling moment, Icarus sees love amongst the coral. Then his body hits the water as his story becomes immortal. Okay, and now I'm just going to put on the hat. And this first one is by Waldo E., better known as Ralph Waldo Emerson. It's called Water. The water understands civilization well. It wets my foot, but prettily. It chills my life, but wittily. It is not disconcerted. It is not broken-hearted. Well used, it decketh joy, adorneth, doubleth joy. Ill used, it will destroy in perfect time and measure, with a face of golden pleasure, elegantly destroy. And I'm going to read one more, and this is by D.H. Lawrence. It's called Autumn Rain. The plain leaves fall black and wet on the lawn. The clouds, sheaves in heaven's fields set, droop and are drawn in falling seeds of rain, the seed of heaven on my face. Falling, I hear again, like echoes, even that softly pace. Heaven's muffled floor, the winds that tread out all the grain of tears, the store of harvested in the sheaves of pain, caught up aloft, the sheaves of dead men that are slain, now winnoweth soft on the floor of heaven, manna indivisible, of all the pain here to us given, finally divisible, falling as rain. Okay, thanks everybody.
All right. And thank you, Michael Sindler. Appreciate it as always. A little tip of the cap and when in the night. I like end your set at least. Yeah, check out the Lighthouse Riders and as always, thanks for the tributes. Okay. We're going to stick in the area, stick around in the area. Someone we've known and then had the pleasure of getting to see last week at Riders Night. It was super fun. Next up on the mic is David Latif. So, David, let me get you here on the spotlight. All right. When you're ready, go ahead and take it away. Thank you, Kit.
Awesome. I'm gonna read some stuff, some poems. This first one doesn't have a title. It's some new shit. From Michael's lovely Tumblewords workshop. It doesn't have a title. If you can think of one that's better than just the word lunch, let me know. I like lunch because no one has opinions or prescriptions about what it is or what it should be. Lunch can be anything it wants to be. Lunch isn't the most important meal of the day. There aren't lunch theaters or three-course lunches. When we want to meet with someone in a casual way, we often say, you should do lunch. Lunch can be anything. Peanut butter sandwich made with burger buns because you forgot to buy normal bread? That's just lunch. Burger on normal bread because you forgot to buy burger buns. Also lunch. Peanut butter sandwich on a flour tortilla because you forgot to buy either normal bread or burger buns. That's also lunch. As far as I'm concerned, every meal should be as casual as lunch. I don't want my mornings to be filled with judgments and stresses about the right way to eat it. I don't want my evenings to be things that people have expectations, ceremonies, and social norms for. I just want to eat food. This next one is called Goblin. Being autistic and ADHD in a neurotypical world makes me feel like a goblin stuck in a world of elves. Not the chill elves like wood elves or anything. I'm stuck with the highest of high elves in a world of formality and ritual and decorum when I just want to get shit done. Everything involves all these ceremonies. It takes so long that by the time we finished the ceremony to initiate the task, that the ceremony was built around to make the task seem of greater value to elven society, the goblin that I am will have died of old age. Because elves live for hundreds of, if not thousands of years. So a decades-long process for preparing to prepare dinner is no big deal. However, goblins forget to eat and will starve to death if they don't have a snack right now. We have sealed all of our belongings in the ancient chambers of Closet. Why? Because a true elf must appear as though he has nothing. But you need them. Yes. So why do you keep hiding them? Because we find it aesthetically pleasing. One cannot simply talk about their feelings with people. But you asked me how I am. Yes, your answer was supposed to be, I'm fine, how are you? But I'm not fine. I don't care, that's not what you're supposed to say. Then why did you ask? Because I'm supposed to pretend like I care. Before you can begin working here, you must pass through the ordeal of casual interrogation to make sure you're the right kind of elf. What do you mean, the right kind of elf? We don't want to hire a goblin now, do we? Of course not. And so I've given up on elven society, packed my little goblin bag, and gone out on a quest to find the greatest treasure a goblin wants: a home. See, goblins aren't cruel folk. We're actually quite caring and willing to accommodate a world of diversity, but we've been labeled monsters after years of bitter resentment built up within us from living in a world where everyone looks down on you, metaphorically and literally. Living in a place where we can't keep with the pace no matter how hard we try, and whenever we ask for change or the smallest crumb of kindness, we get labeled as monsters. That's all they'll ever see. So fuck the elves. I'm a goblin and I'm proud. This next one is because September is Suicide Awareness Month. I don't know if I've done this one this September. No, I haven't done this one this September. So I'm going to do this one this September. It's called When Asked, How Do You Say I Love You? I say it with words, out loud, directly to them. Unlike those cowards who can't say 3 simple syllables, I'm not a man. I'm not afraid of affection, because I remember going to the funeral of my childhood friend, parted by circumstances and then suicide, and everyone said the kindest things about him, all of which were true. The myriad ways he made our lives so much better whenever he was around, and all I could think was, did anyone tell him this when he was alive? Would he be here today if we did? Because he can't hear any of these eulogies 6 feet underground, so say it. Say it whatever way you're capable of saying it, but say it. Tell them how much they mean to you. Tell them how cool you know they are. Tell them how good their cooking is. Tell them that you're grateful that they're in your life. Tell them that you love them. And make sure that it's heard and they can still hear it. This last one is called An Anti-Graduation Poem. When Robin pointed out there might be college students in our midst, I wanted to make sure that the people who were bad at college, like me, felt seen and included. College was a war of attrition. We all knew it. Watched the pre-med students become less and less enthusiastic with each semester, got used to hearing the news or seeing the boxes as another one left the dorms. Those of us who weren't good enough, usually through some disability, got burned away. The chaff of academia. It's why I could pay you $20 for every disabled doctor you have and know that my wallet would be full. Some of us failed in worse ways than others. I learned to fear the phrase, do you guys remember that one guy? Because academia was just abuse that we paid for, and some of us couldn't carry that weight. I had to be rescued in my 6th year by my brother who flew down from Colorado to save my life. So here's a memorial to us who never got to wear that cap and gown. I see you. I remember you. I'm proud of you. Thanks. You can follow me on Instagram, where I occasionally post pictures of my roommate's dog. If you want to see my poetry, you can follow me at Substack at Poetic Universal Friend. Should say my Instagram is also Poetic Universal Friend. Also, I got new copies of books, so if you're in the Colorado area and Denver area, you want one, you can find me and I can get you one. I'm gonna see if I can get this up on itch.io because you can publish books there, and I like that better than, doing through Amazon, but this I get physical. Well, you get the deal. But yeah, you can follow me in those places. You can buy my book. Richie has the link. You can also punch Nazis and you will have done nothing wrong. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you, David. Yeah, I'll forward that link. Let me get that here. But yeah, I think David Latif, that was kind of the theme last Wednesday at Proof and Press, interestingly enough. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and I like how we started in El Paso, we went up to Denver area for a little bit, and now we're gonna go to South Dakota, Ohio for our next performer, and it is none other than Doc Jennings. So, Doc, when you're ready, go ahead and take it away. Welcome back.
Sorry, I'm having a little trouble with movement tonight. Okay. I've been going through old printed poetry, and I pulled out 4 poems that I wrote between 2015 and 2018, none of which I believe any of you have ever heard. The first is titled, I Am the Self, Which is Me. I have existed through eons, exiled, broken, shattered, and scattered through the multiverse on ever-shifting currents of time. Reformed, reborn at karma's whim, to live and die, learn and forget, love and lose. All I have had, all I have been. I try again to be me. This is grounded. Bare hands, bare feet, lungs filled, grounded. Earth, water, air, healing, calming, sunlight, warming, energizing, connecting, mind, emotions, clearing with each breath, empowering, wellness, self, wholeness, becoming one with all. This is titled Write for Me. Write for me, a wondrous poem, a poem which tells of all your feelings, feelings of which you never speak. Let the pages scream all you feel as you write without a pen. And this is titled, and it's my last poem tonight. This is titled In My Time. It's a pen tomb based on titles from Yanni's CD of the same name. One man's dreams in the morning's light at the end of August. Enchantment in the mirror. To take, to hold until the last moment before I go. Only a memory which whispers in the dark. Velitza. And I thank you.
All right, Doc. Any commercials, plugs, promotions before we move on?
The only thing is I have to promote is my book, and Before Today, Beyond Tomorrow, and I will put that in the chat. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Doc. We're just going to keep this thing rolling along. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. We're gonna keep going a little further northeast of where we are, and stop in Greenfield, Massachusetts. Join us a little bit of poetry, a cappella song. It's his birthday on Thursday, so keep that in mind. Let's go ahead and welcome Storm back to the Zoom room. All right, when you're ready, go ahead and take it away, Storm.
Okay, here we go. Oh, let me just check one more thing. Yes, okay. Now I can see my cover poem. I'll start with that. But it also forms the theme of the evening because it is going to be my birthday soon. So I figured I'd do things sort of loosely around that tonight. This is a cover poem by Donna Markova. I will not die an unlived life. I will not live in fear of falling or catching fire. I choose to inhabit my days, to allow my living to open me, to make me less afraid, more accessible, to loosen my heart until it becomes a wing, a torch, a promise. I choose to risk my significance, to live so that which came to me as seed goes to the next as blossom, and that which came to me as blossom goes on as fruit. I might as well put my birthday hat on, celebrate me. Who else will? So, okay. This is a poem called Storm Presence. I bring winds to cleanse earth. I bring rains to quench thirst. Give you sunshine after I'm gone. Give you rainbows saying I'm leaving. Now, this is a poem that before the lockdown and fears about diseases being spread, I used to go up to complete strangers in restaurants if somebody, if the staff came out with a cupcake with a candle and sang to them, I'd come up and ask them if they liked poetry. And if they did, I'd say this poem to them. And if anyone is in the room who also has a birthday, this poem's for you as well. All right. Listen, new hymns are forming in the laughter of a friend. Beneath your feet, the grass chants snatches of songs even you haven't heard of. In the meadow, cows are practicing ancient operas and cadenzas and polkas. The dog beside you is flat picking with its feet and accompanying itself on the collar. When the cat claws on the screen door, it is really saying it wants a washboard, a banjo, and a whole jug band. If the flies buzzed or slowed down, it would be a carol. Listen, your silence is a melody. You will hear its refrain from a stranger who was taught it by your absent friends. In the distance, your heart is drumming. When it arrives, this entire room will become an orchestra. Listen, can you recognize that the trees are humming happy birthday and old lang syne? They have been rehearsing for months, waiting to surprise you. Qualification of a scout. I have walked the shoals of madness and listened to the ocean's call within a siren shell. I have stood upon the needle's point and crossed the razor's edge. And though I hid a while inside most drunken bottles and smoke-caused dreams, I have emerged again to light, to breathe in pure air, to declare one can endure, to caution of the pitfalls of the journey, and God willing to guide you safely through. Who was it stopped the car, I'm told, just inches from me on the road, when a sledding flip had brought me harm, concussion, scrapes, a broken arm. I thank you, God, for loving me. I thank you, God, for loving me, though I was blind and couldn't see. I thank you, God, for loving me. Who was it made me take a snooze on nights I'd drunken too much booze, felt lost, afraid, without a friend, and thought about a razor end? I thank you, God, for loving me. I thank you, God, for loving me, though I was blind and couldn't see. I thank you, God, for loving me. Who is it now stands by my side to show me doors are open wide? My future days I need not dread, for sunny skies shine overhead. I thank you, God, for loving me. I thank you, God, for loving me, though I was blind and could not see. I thank you, God, for loving me. I thank you, God, for loving me. I thank you, God, for loving me. No longer blind, at last I see. I thank you, God, for loving me. And except for the cover poem, I wrote everything else.
All right, thank you. And you got the links too that you'll share in the chat.
Yep. People's Music Network for Songs of Freedom and Struggle, 350 plus members, both in the US and internationally. We've been going for over 45 years. Check us out on Daily Antidote of Song. We are about to approach the 2000th day that we have been together 7 days a week, 365 days a year. People come as presenters literally from around the world, and they get to do one or two songs and get interviewed. And there's a huge chat presence and community beyond the half hour that the show lasts.
Cool. All right. We'll be on the lookout for those links. Again, happy birthday this Thursday. As the birthday said, love the special hat just for that. We're gonna keep it going. We're gonna come back to El Paso for our next performer. He's been here before, but not too often. He's one of our favorite on writers night at Proof and Press, our favorite entomologist. It's always great when you get to stop in and see him here. We got the John up next. So John, when you are ready, I'll get you here in the spotlight and take it away when you're ready.
Hello, ho. Good to be here. My laptop fan is going all crazy right now, so hopefully that's not coming across too much. Um, but yeah, I have a couple just short things here. Both of them sort of spare thoughts that pass through my mind late at night, and I developed them just a little bit. So they're both very sort of rough drafts, and I thought I would just read them here and kind of get a feel for how they sound, and if there's something that I want to, continue working on or sort of scrap for spare parts. So this first one is very short. So here we go. It is said that Charles Darwin beheld hollowed desiccation of parasitized caterpillars and saw the absence of a loving God. What would he find in observation of such empty words and images in a machine age we have made? So that's one thought. All right, so this next one is a little more developed. The working title is Asphodel, but I'm not, married to that. All right. Each star makes of me a single shadow. I count them while I wait for the day, but I lose track as their enumeration eclipses me. My ledger asymptotes as my eyes detect still endless forms. My retinas receive every solitary photon emitted from the chasuble of a star. Empyrean exiles impart craters on my pupils and declare, I exist, bear witness. In that great dark, I sense a lesser shade as eyeless watchers perceive the cave diver's lantern. Its gravity pulls me ever closer, but I awake and the dark returns. I lay down to wait for the day. Against the ground, heels to crown, the stars can make of me no shadows, but my eyes, bearing witness, become cratered like the moon. So that's what I have in terms of poetic thoughts. I don't really, well, as of yet, I don't post poetry on any social media. I mostly just share with BWOMS and with any family and friends that are interested. I do have a photography Instagram account that it's mostly nature photography, occasionally other things. I'm good for about maybe 2 or 3 posts a month and a few stories here and there. And that's just my last name, Deitch underscore photography, which is currently my Zoom name. I post some photos of, there's some like spiders and stuff on there. So depending on how you feel about some creepy crawlies, maybe not for you, but there's also a lot of like pretty butterflies and birds and stuff. And maybe in the future, I'll convert it to more of like a all kinds of art account, but we'll see. So that's it for me tonight. Thanks for listening, and maybe I'll be back next week.
All right. Yeah, and that would be great. I do love the concept. One of the points of an open mic is definitely testing grounds, to read a piece out loud and get that perspective. Because sometimes you write it down, you look at it, but then when you read it out loud, you feel it differently. And then other people too. And it's a great opportunity to get other people listening in on it. So yeah, it's always a treat when you do get to share your words, both online and in person. So yeah, let's keep this thing going. Oh man, so Sam Hardy signed up, but not here on the Zoom call. They're usually joining us from New Orleans, but so we'll see if Sam comes through. If not, we'll go ahead and keep going down the list. And our next performer is actually international. We are going to go to Manila in the Philippines, where we have Lacan up next, a rare Lacan appearance, and has a new book out to promote. So, also, of course, Poetry Global Network, a big supporter of poetry around the globe and publishing now. So, Lacan, if you are available and ready, I will get you spotlight on the screen so you can go ahead. Here you.
Thank
Hey.
you. Thank you, Richie. Yay. Apologies, I will not be turning on my video today because of bandwidth challenges. Magandang umaga, beautiful morning to everyone. I am Lacan and I'm from Manila, Pilipinas. And thank you, Richie, for enunciating Manila as it should be. Manila, not Manila. It's Manila. Thank you. Oh wow, I'm so happy about that. I am I always do my best to uphold the tradition of poetry. That in the East it is duty to the society. Being a poet binds you to this vow that you should always speak the truth and for the society. So I have 2 poems for today. The first one is gonna be, so I'm done with my second book, but it's still going through a process of reviews. This is gonna be for my third book now, and This one is for the United States of America. The title of this poem is a declaration of independence. It's been 115 years since the United States signed a treaty in Paris. They're no longer the colony that signed 1.4 kilometers east to Hotel Diok for their recognition as a free nation. In December 10, 1898, USA now has the men, the money, military. They're signing as an imperial power. As white hands shake the tides in the east, each was a stipulation to divide the Pacific. The once Indias Orientales Españolas gets folded in a parchment of egos below a $20 million memorandum, severing Manila from Guam, Marianas, Carolinas, Palau. How clauses causes a class act to class out anyone who has a skin color less than a limestone shade of imperialism, be drained of the ink to own each Filipino's future, as they were denied of any claim at Kidiose. Did America forget what their origin says? Drowning on the river Seine, where Lady Liberty stands, copper-skinned and free, looking warily towards America as it enslaves a young republic in Asia, sealing freedom's name inside another empire's shadow. What a hypocrite to follow enacting what it fought against in 1783. Thank you. I think this is not taught in American textbooks. They call the Philippine War as a mere conflict, where they decimated 20% of the entire population of the Philippines. The second poem I'm going to have. 自是创化这民间护国. This is for the People's Republic of China. The title is 1985. All it takes is for evil to be needed, a crucial necessity for everyone to depend on. Too much, it becomes an addiction, a hard habit to break. People will lie for, turn a blind eye for. Evil is stronger when it's more than normalized. It becomes an essential character. For a fundamental piece of world order, each piece is about power, and everyone is lacking something. Evil is a master negotiator. It can offer freedom with a price, manufactured from one's own greed, a mass-produced drug of dependency. Gaslighting solutions is good business, where profit is branded by the numbers. Evil is a good seller, and we are avid buyers. A quintessential trade of profits, but no one truly earns anything, only the survival of debt, and wakes up, and we find out everyone is an evil's pocket. People do not want to criticize the People's Republic of China because we're so afraid and dependent on the economy that they have owned. But we talk about other atrocities because it is convenient. Thank you. Maraming salamat.
Awesome. Thank you, Lacan. And I linked Poetry Global Network so people can follow that as well as your book. But I don't know if you have any other plugs or comments, things you want to share before we move along.
Yeah, I can do that. Sorry, the child comes out from time to time, you know. Yeah. Yes, please support everyone's product of their sacrifice, their books, their listen to their Spotify albums. My book is When Stars Are Traitors. And you can find it www.poetryglobalnetwork.com or in 45,000 outlets around the world, from Amazon, Barnes& and Noble to in the UK, Waterstones, and everywhere. And it is about the book. I tell my story as a gang rape survivor.
Mm.
And I would like everybody to know that men get raped too. And the thing is, we don't usually talk about it. And I want this book to be a companion for people who think that they're fighting this battle alone. And it is lifetime. No one gets over rape, really.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
Well, as always, thank you for your advocacy. And for those of you that can't see the picture on the screen for Lacan, it is a title of the book, and When Stars Are Traitors. So let me get back here. Yes, and I did link that in the chat. I did want to give a shout out to Sandy. Forgot to mention earlier, Sandy's in the chat. Hello. And again, if you guys are watching, let us know you're here. Say hello. We're going to keep this thing moving along, and we're going to stop by in South Carolina where we have Swaggy, and I'm gonna go ahead and get I think you need the share screen, right? So when you are ready, um,
Thanks,
you got
Rich.
you got a song today?
I do. I want to say something really quickly before you share my song. First of all, Feliz mes de la herencia España Ocho N. I know today is the start of Hispanic Heritage Month, so to all my friends in El Paso, I hope that this month is celebratory for you guys. Um, by now, I'm pretty sure everybody has either heard or have seen um, the headlines and the stories in regards to the Charlie Kirk tragedy. I'm not going to get too much into it because open mics are not really political, unless you count haikus as moderate, allegedly. Um, it's a joke. But yeah, I want to just simply say that no matter what your political differences are, violence is never the answer. I want people to know that violence is never the answer. And for his life to be taken away because of a disagreement, it just goes on to show you how very far off a cliff our world has fallen. So, with that said, I want to send my deepest condolences not only to Charlie Kirk's family, not only to his friends that knew and loved him, but also to the college kids of the campuses that he went to go visit and attend. Um, even a weekend, this all just doesn't make sense to me still. But I hope that as a country we can heal, we can move forward, and we can do a hell of a lot better. So with that said, I do have a song that I actually released Friday, 2 days after the incident. Everything was done by me. I wrote the lyrics, I made the beat, um, I sang the vocals. Yeah, everything was done by me, including the video. So I'm shutting up for now, and I'll let the video do the talking.
You got it. You got the share screen option.
Oh, well, I was wanting you to share it, but I guess.
Oh yeah, no, I can because I'm streaming. I got a lot of stuff going on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, let me see if I can do it on my end.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. Let's go. I could have sworn we had some sense, but now we're way out of control. Cause some lunatic thought to take away another soul. He was daddy, he was hubby, he was a genuine Christian. Changing people's hearts and minds was his ultimate mission. Charlie Kirk was his name, and his voice was so effective. He never judged you based on your different perspectives. They silenced Charlie Kirk, but they ignited generations. We'll never back down if we stand as a nation. Speaking our minds is what we do. It's called freedom of speech. This is really nothing new. I only see color when it's red, white, and blue. It's a turning point for folks like me and you. Come on. It's a turning point for police on their feet who are trying to keep us safe in these streets. It's a turning point for the Christians who will listen to opinions that are viewed in opposition. It's a turning point. You can try to tear my tongue out, but I'ma be okay. It's a turning point. Not a liar, I'm somebody who you fear because of what I might say. Hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. I'm not even gonna lie, what I find to be sad is that Charlie Kirk's children will grow up without a dad. They'll only have stories of what their father achieved. A follower of Christ who wore his faith on his sleeve. May Jesus be the one who gets all power and authority. All who love the Lord are the silent majority. Thank you, Mr. Charlie, for sparking a revolution. We'll always keep fighting to bring about a solution. Speaking our minds is what we do. It's called freedom of speech. This is really nothing new. I only see color when it's red, white, and blue. It's a turning point for folks like me and you. Come on. It's a turning point for police on their feet who are trying to keep us safe in the streets. It's a turning point for the Christians who will listen to opinions that are viewed in opposition. It's a turning point. You can try to tear my tongue out, but I'ma be okay. It's a turning point. I'm not a liar, I'm somebody who you fear because of what I might say. Hold up. Silence is no longer an option. I got freedom, so I'm gonna keep talking. Silence is no longer an option. I got freedom, so I'm gonna keep talking. Silence is no longer an option. I got freedom, so I'm gonna keep talking. Silence is no longer an option. I got freedom, so I'm gonna keep talking. It's a turning point for police on their feet who are trying to keep us safe in the streets. It's a turning point for the Christians who will listen to opinions that are viewed in opposition. It's a turning point. You can try to tear my tongue out, but I'ma be okay. It's a turning point. I'm not a liar, I'm somebody who you fear because of what I might say. Hold up.
Okay. So Swaggy, thanks, man. Yeah, man. I think everyone kind of sharing the thoughts in the comments on that too. Let's keep the night going. So check it out. We got Discovia up next, followed by Kit. Luis, I think, is not here yet, so hopefully he joins us. We also have
Actually, yeah.
Ed, followed by Dan. What's up, Discovia? What's up, man?
Oh no. I was talking to in the background to my friends. I'm so
Oh,
sorry about
okay.
that.
No, it's good, man. So we're gonna come back to Texas, but Laredo, Texas, and as always, you got some acapella and spoken words. So let me get you on the screen here. My bad, man.
No, you
All
have
right,
nothing, absolutely nothing to
Discovia,
apologize for.
when you're ready, go ahead and take it away, man.
Yo, appreciate everything I heard tonight. Honestly, Swaggy, keep doing your thing. That beat was fire. Everybody's gonna have different opinions when it comes to politics. I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't much of a fan of him either, but still another life that didn't deserve to go like that. Just saying, he was still a father. Anyway, I digress. The piece I wanted to share with you guys. See, here we go. I got two. One is called Lonely Nights, and the other one's called, excuse me there, bit my tongue. It's called Time Skip. I'm gonna go ahead and start off with Lonely Nights. Opening. Here we go. Maybe it's best if I did disappear. My involvement in life improperly positioned in existence, questioning all within, never will it be clear. I do miss you, my dear, still wishing you were here, reminding me of all the times in sight, kissing your lovely lips, making everything better, telling me everything. I've been feeling off and in need of recovery, praying and hoping you love me, and it's true. Immensely, my heart beats and it yearns for loving you. Looking up at the sky, emotions take on a toll, weighing heavy on my fragile soul, heart accelerating faster than the speed of sound. You're nowhere to be found. Nobody else I'd rather love is around. I begin to cry because being without you, my love, is like depending on happiness from drugs. It's also excuse me. Being without my love is comparable to separating two beautiful doves. All things remind me of you in the world in every shape and form. Everything does. You are the world to me. You embracing me in your arms is the only thing that matters. Truthfully, I desire you to remain forever with me the way it should be, even in these lonely nights. Thank you. Snap, snap, clap, clap, whatever you please, whatever you desire. As for the following piece, goes a little bit into the aspects of imagination mixed with, I guess, like just lucid thoughts. Time skip, because I felt like I've lived more than just one life. Maybe my life wasn't meant to travel the seas as marine life or to remain in place sedentary as a rock. Maybe my life expired from being a pharaoh ruling with healing in many nations. My life also expired as a runaway slave that assisted Harriet Tubman in starting a revolution. I could have been one of Jesus' disciples, but who is to know? Only mine remains lucid with premonitions. My eyes, in essence, have dramatically changed through the passage of shifting times. My reflection of history restarts upon my departure into the unknown, accepting my fate due to rash decisions or illness. The hypotheticals are endless. So is my desire to express as well as live. Emerging from the dark, devoid of absence, lights flickered and danced all around at high speeds. My first welcome back into the world through reincarnation, entering a crowded room full of joyful and eager people, ready to respond urgently. Viewing these moments in the comfort of a home on a handheld cell phone, remembering when days were more simple and relaxing, nearly took place 2 decades ago. Holidays were eventful. More of the family was around. Sunday dinners happened without question or postponing. Although memories cannot fill the void, they are everything dear to me to hold. Time and time again, I die a saint to become reborn in sin to amend again. I'm immune to evil. I am seeking and making ways for a better and brighter future. I may not be the strongest nor the brightest, but impossibilities put no fear in me, nor my heart or soul. Time skip. And for any of you that's interested, please feel free to find me on social media. Facebook is Matthew Descovia, MatthewDescovia. Excuse me, I almost said either. And my Instagram is Descovia Arts, DESCOVIARTS. Feel free to send me a DM or anything. Shout out to Richie for being a good Storm, and Mike Snyder. You guys did phenomenal. Keep doing your thing. Swaggy, keep writing lyrics, man. Like I said, I know people may not agree with your opinion, but keep doing your art because it's blessing somebody out there. It gave me inspiration towards more of my stuff for real. I love you guys. You guys have a blessed night. Amen. May the world be with you. Take care.
All right. Thank you, man. Discovia out of Laredo, Texas. And uh yeah, post your social media and I'll forward it to peeps. Again, this is our online mic. Every Monday, you guys want to come through, there's still room to sign up. Plenty of time for discourse, you know. So with that said, and our art. With that said, Kit is up next, who's going to be hosting next Thursday at Old Sheepdog. But of course, right now, the spotlight is his. So, Mr. Monday Night, Kit, hey.
I had a schedule there. Sorry. So, hi, hello, good evening. Ah, boy. This one went a little sideways. Kind of pissed off. What shall I read? A silly one. Why not? The advent of democracy and nationalism has been nothing short of disaster for the fantasy realms. Having so many princes and princesses managed to avoid the wave of 1848 by sheer confusion, but ran instead into the problem of elite consolidation. Nobody is sure if this is a civil war or just the regular kind. But it takes a lot less effort, they're finding, to slay their fellow princes than it did dragons. This is not, however, something the princesses have wanted to reward. It's a small community, and you're going to step on somebody's toes. Or garrot somebody's cousin. Rapunzel has given up her titles of state and become an influencer, managing a business empire that began with an abandoned truck full of bumpets. The fantasy realms are experiencing our kitschy nostalgia for the first time, and taking to it like East Germans guzzling Mountain Dew with every meal. The first of its kind ever after Parliament promises to balance the new freedoms with a sensible order, but that too has had its complications. Like the ambassador they sent to the United Nations. Short fella. Not a catch. We tell him he cannot be credentialed until he gives us a name. But he laughs. Makes us guess one at a time. It's been 3 weeks. We're only up to El Salvador. If anyone mentions straw or gold to the ambassador from Uruguay, I fear he'll slit their throat. Let's see. Haven't been able to drink for a week because I'm on antibiotics. Passed a very, very simple test, I suppose. The one that I've known a few people who can pass. But this is the ode to the hangover. We are so quick to appeal to the conscience and tell the ones who would cleave us apart that history will judge them. Yet we live in fear of the only physiological proof of this. Why? You, hangover, are the only one who knows what really happened. I trust only your accounts, not any texts, nor any photography. No headache has ever yet told me a lie. Hangover, inerrant morning judge, I surrender without condition to the mercy of your court. All the things that quote-unquote cure you are things I should be doing anyway. As if Jiminy Cricket himself jumped into the mezcal, you will reveal all the lessons learned and forgotten, and in the morning's, afternoon's light, I will find the clarity that other drinkers drink to avoid. So, and now a poem about what shall I do? How shall I send a message? The comedians have renounced raunch and transphobia and hatred in general. They have seen their folly, they tell me. They credit me for their Damascene moment. They line up and say sorry and thank you as if it is all one word, a chant for newly shaved Hare Krishnas. They have set up this event, the first of its kind post-pandemic, to prove their sincerity to me. One approaches the mic, and then another. They are all reading aloud from the same worn copy of Capitalism and Schizophrenia by Giles Deleuze. They pass the one copy between themselves as they all take their turn, going for exactly 7 minutes each. It has a used tag from a college bookstore, University of Vermont. Charlie the Catamount is just barely smiling at me from the crinkled sticker on the spine. Their faces as they perform are intense, and as the others sit and watch, they are rapt. One is taking notes. My companion and I retreat to the patio, and by her leave, I smoked my first cigarette in 4 years. One by one, the comedians follow me out, eager and pleading like seminary students. Is this better? Are we better now, Kit? Have we made up for our sins and our wayward lives? The truth is, I don't know. The truth is, I thought I would always have to fight the comedians for saying one awful thing or another. I viewed it as a responsibility that I had to the scene. And the truth is, I have a middle management bred paranoia about what it means when a responsibility gets taken away. The truth is, I liked to fight against the comedians so much that I never gave a thought to what victory would look like. The truth is, I confessed to the one with the notebook, I haven't read very much theory. Discovia earlier in the chat mentioned the Poetry Grammys, which is a delightful concept. One that's not as far away from reality as you might think, because in November there will be the National Book Awards. And the long list in all categories were released last week. And the poetry long list has some really fun names, some of my favorites. I'm going to read from one of those favorites, Richard Sykin. Richard Sykin's a very interesting story. He was a poet and a painter, and I believe a filmmaker too. But a few years ago, he had a pretty bad stroke. He can't paint anymore. And he no longer feels like he has the control of poetic form anymore. And so he has a new book called I Do Know Some Things. That is a collection of prose poems. We love a good prose poem, don't we, folks? Albandigas by Richard Sykin. My parents took me to Red Lobster to tell me they were getting a divorce. Parents always take you to Red Lobster when they need to tell you something awful and important, like failure. They figure if they're going to ruin a restaurant for you, it should be somewhere lame, like Red Lobster or Olive Garden. We went to Red Lobster. They couldn't bring themselves to say anything. I was confused. My brother, visiting, offered to tell me. He told me. I didn't take it well. To calm me down, he tried to read McCavity the Mystery Cat to me while I was throwing things. He ruined it. We were supposed to ruin Red Lobster. I tried to break a toy school bus and that he had given me, but it was too well made in solid wood, so I gave up. It's not that I don't want to be your mom, it's that I don't want to be anyone's mom. You can call me Phyllis and we can work on being friends. When I get back. My father hired a housekeeper. She wasn't a good cook, but she made a lot of Mexican food, which I liked. The first time she made albondigas, my father thought it was matzo ball soup made by a crazy person. He accused her of being a crazy person. He raised his voice and gripped the edge of the table to keep his hands down. So that was ruined for me as well. She should have left, but she didn't. She stuck around until my future stepmother entered the competition for the slot in the kitchen and won. They took me to Red Lobster to let me know they were getting married. I had popcorn shrimp and nodded along. My mother sent me a postcard with a picture of the Eiffel Tower, telling me how great things were. It had domestic postage. Okay, plugs. Tumblewords. This Saturday, I'm going to be leading it. There's a bit of a schedule snafu. It'll be an old workshop that I made called Panic Stricken Uncertainties, based on all the prompts come from the same poem that I found in an essay in a very strange poetic essay that I found in an issue of Poetry Magazine that year. So I'm going to be, by coincidence, that was the workshop I was supposed to present on August 3rd, 2019, a day that Charlie Kirk really liked because one of his friends got to do what all of his friends like to do. But yeah, I got to present it the next week instead, and I get to present it again this week because I set the schedule now. The week after that, it'll be our friend Lee Martinez Soto with This Is My Villain Era. And on September the 25th, Old Sheepdog Brewery, which interestingly enough, they're adding some stuff. They're going to have a partnership with Synaxis Coffee. They're going to have a horror-themed bookstore somewhere on site. That sounds really cool. I forgot the name of it, but I quite liked it when I saw it. So Gus is doing some cool, interesting things. Always support him and all the cool stuff they're doing in Central. Yeah, I will see you all in the after party. I'll be drinking near beer because it's actually really good now. And we'll hand it back to Richie.
Awesome. Thank you, Kit. I stopped drinking on Mondays, but I really need to drink right now. Yeah, man. Thanks for all the plugs. Check out Tumble Words, please. And Luis is signed up but couldn't make it, but hopefully, between the next couple of performers, maybe he will. I know it's like 4 a.m. for him over there, so sometimes it's hard. All right, but we're gonna go ahead and go to Washington, D.C., the capital, where we have the one and only Mr. Ed Poetastic up on the mic to share some poems. Hey, Ed, good seeing you, man. Need some of the levity. So when you're ready, go ahead and take it away.
Good to see you too, and thank you for pushing on through. And remember that we love you and Kit too. Hello, everyone. My name is Ed Potastic, Fit and Fantastic. Please time to control my rhyme. Five feels sublime. I got 4 poems, so I take too much time. Don't worry. Jokes next week. All right. The first one is from our wonderful Micro Singler's workshop at Tumblers on Saturday. This is called Early. Early to eat, early to rise, early to treat, early to the sunrise, early for cereal, early to care, early to feel, early to share, early to wake up, early to watch, early to stump, early to march, early to think, early to stand, early to shrink, early to understand, early to pay attention, early to work, early for confession, early to smirk, early for dinner, early to sleep, early to hinder, early to peep, early to dream, early to ponder, early to gleam, early to bother, Thank you so much. This other one's called Punchline. Knock, knock. Who's there? Your bones are going to rock. Come on, stay here and care. Don't stare at the clock. It's a joke. Be fully aware. Tick tock, tick tock. Here's a joke. Be prepared. No contradicting doors or locks. Life is one big sarcastic affair. Please no overpainted blocks. It's a joke, not about hit or a tear. If you feel angry, go for a walk. Please don't be a boring square. Don't stay angry with emotional shock. It's words of laughter, not a questionnaire. Please giggle and chuckle, but don't mock. It's not to trigger or discriminate, I swear. Please don't be a statue, a mount, or a sock. Can't take a joke. The laugh box needs repair. Too bad there's no extras or upgrades in stock. The jokes of laughter can't be compared. Let the jokester just talk, talk, and talk. Our lives are jokes. The punchlines are there. Listen, be more open and not deadlock. Please say a joke. Give a little light in this nightmare. Here's a joke. What do you call a painted clown? A peacock. Please, more open smiles and hearts. No more hateful stares. Thank you. The next one's called First Last. We're always behind the black of our minds. We can't stay blind by the rushing tide. We're all winners. We're all beginners. We're not losers. We're not snoozers. We have unique skills. We can help or kill. We send chills or thrills. We the queens or kings of the hill. Don't be belittled by society. Don't stand variety. Don't stand who you are. You're a bright shining star. Please stop having high expectations. Why not go on a stress-free vacation? Who are you trying to impress? Don't press for progress. You want to be like everyone else. You're a book on the global bookshelf. Why can't you appreciate you? Maybe you need to change your view. Why must you outdo everyone? The moon isn't outdoing the sun. Everything isn't a competition. It's not a life grand definition. Maybe you point the telescope within. Be your cheerleader and your friend. You don't live twice, but once. Be a happy sage and an arrogant dunce. Thank you. And last one's called Things That Go Downhill Fast. Life laughs at our plans. Agenda going through our hands. It's not our fault when reality goes on halt. We try to make it work, forcing something that's hurt. We all want it to come true as fish swim in the blue. Life doesn't work like that. It won't feel like a glove or a hat. Yet people try, and try before they sigh, cry, or die. Watching them cry a storm within their delusional dorm. Everyone wants it to be perfect. It's not. What do you expect? Life is not a script or a play. Every day it goes its own way. Please don't beat yourself up or sit there like a stump. You have to quickly adapt from the punches and slaps. Life is never ever easy. I hope I'm not sounding cheesy. Life is rough and hard. Act, but be on your guard. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Ed. Always thank you. How can our awesome people watching right now at this very moment on YouTube follow and support you online?
Sure, no problem. Thank you for asking. You can follow me. Actually, if you want to follow me and follow the rest of these wonderful poets and musicians, please come back to the wonderful BWOMS open mic that makes our money like such a light in the wonderful, fantastic spotlight. All right, but if you want to follow me, please feel free. My Facebook is Eddie Foreman. And if you send me a request, you take a guess. The answer is yes. Hope everyone stays safe, healthy, and blessed. Now stop spewing the wonder words outside your chest. Now start being and feeling and doing your best. And always remember, life is not a contest. And if you don't know, now you know. And how I love this show. Thank you for having me. Hope you love my poetry.
We love it. We love it. Just out of instinct, even though it was a knock knock poem, I wanted my impulse was like, who's there? And I was waiting for Kit to do his thing, but I was like, no, wait, this is the poem. Uh no, thank you, Ed, as always. Once again, if you're tuning in, this is our Monday night online mic. We're here every Monday. Check us out on social media. We have a bunch of events this week, so come through and hang out if you have the chance. Keep it cool, But we're gonna go ahead and come to our closer. I don't think anyone else who signed up who was late made it. So yeah, it is time to call up the one, the only Dan the Man. He's in some serious competition. I'll let him talk more about it if he likes to. But with all the style and energy in the world, it's Dan the Man. All right, Dan, take it away.
Mm-hmm. All right, how you guys doing, everybody? I'm in a competition. This ain't no Olympic. This ain't no. Hang on. ION. Hang on a second. All right. Well, this ain't no competition, and yeah, this ain't no, well, kind of a competition, but this ain't no action. There's no. I. Oh, kidding. You lying to do it. Okay, well, yeah, but even though I know it's Halloween, but even though we're still in the fall and then Halloween in between, yeah. So hoping to go by far to win to see the star, like yeah, like Jamie Lee Curtis, Matthew Lillard, and Kane Hodder. Well, sounds like a cop, or it's just like a grape robber. You think it's a macabre? It's a macabre. No, ain't no wobble, but it's just a squabble. But even though it's just like a knob, but I'm still out looking for a job. But all I'm trying to do is dodgy unemployment mob. Do I look like a slob? Ain't no con job, but doesn't get the doorknob. Some no heartthrob, but hobnob. It goes on the inside job. Huh. Probably for Thanksgiving, I'm gonna eat a corn on the cob, like a thingamabob. Oh well, but we know what's coming. It's just fall. Yep, yep. Season fall is coming, but looks like it's not our call. But even though we're in it for a brawl. Yeah, but yeah, so ain't no free fall. Just yeah, it's meatball, and it's only the night call. So, uh, speaking of fights, speaking of brawl, yeah, I see the fight last Saturday night. Well, I was on a concert night, Buck Cherry performing all night long. Hmm. Well, hmm. ain't no harm. Hmm. But I heard Canelo won. Yep, won the fight. But it looks like I don't know. Looks like Bunk Cherry won the night. Everything's on light. Okay. Well, I hope my search comes in light. But yeah. Oh, Canelo lost. I forgot. I didn't see the fight at all. Yeah, that falls. But yeah, but what's coming is fall. Oh yeah, Canelo fall. Dang. Okay, well, as around the light, yeah, last Saturday night was fight night, so. Okay, Richie, let's go ahead and call it a night.
All right. Thank you, Dan. Cool. So a couple things, orders of business. Again, thanks to everyone who tuned in. I did not keep a whole lot of track on live chat today, but we'll be here next Monday. Be on the lookout for the link. Again, my recommendation is follow our link tree. There's a link to subscribe, and if you click that link, I pretty much use that as soon as I put out the sign up link, I send an email, right? So you can check that out. You'll be notified as soon as I put it out. But if you are in the Paso area, come hang out with us tomorrow night, Tuesday night, where you're going to be at Brunette. That is their underground venue. That's a basement. It's kind of cool. I am also training new hosts so they can take over eventually. So I think we're going to do like a rotating host thing. So be part of that, and then let's hang out. I think also being in brunette will offer maybe a little bit more of an intimacy that we might have not had. Say we were supposed to be a mono bar, but we'll see. Come through, hang out. Wednesday we have Storycraft, 6:30 p.m. sign up. First draw is at 7, and that goes until about 9:30 or 10. If you are also downtown, there's live jazz. This is my selfish plug. I'm going to be performing my spoken word poetry with a live jazz band as part of the Jazz Exchanges Jazz Around Town series. That's at the Garrison on San Antonio Street. And that's going to be from 7, um, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m., 10:30 p.m. I forget the times right now, but it's on social media as well. And then Thursday, Rally Point Coffee on the east side. Be on the lookout for that as well. But as always, thanks to all our peeps who performed and stood their ground where it was needed to, because we need that. What else can I say? Hope to see you guys around town. If not, I'll see you guys next Monday for the online mic. My name is Rich, and we'll see you next time. Se acabó. The live stream is over.